Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Angeline Wandre. If you're new to this channel, hello. If you're new to this channel, hello. Yani, I've even forgotten how to do this. Anyway, if you're new to this channel, hello. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that you can get notified anytime I drop a video like I am doing right here, right now, today for all of you guys. Hello to all my 4K subscribers. Yani, I'm even forgetting like my lines. Seriously, I've only been away a week and I'm already forgetting how to do this. Anyway, I owe you guys an explanation. I went AWOL for a whole entire week, but let me tell you, my mind and my body needed this. I needed a break. I was feeling so unproductive, uncreative. I was feeling tired, frustrated. I was just feeling low energy, negative vibes, and I was just like, I need a break. Let me take time to gather myself together, collect myself, and come back bigger, badder, and better. And guess what? This girl is full of nothing but positive vibes, and I am releasing them to all of you people who are going to be watching this video today. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, what the hell do you think you're doing? What are you waiting for? Hello? All right, so while I was away, look at what happened, you guys. Your girl went and grew white hair. Look at this. Look at this. I'm like, yo, you guys are always telling me how I look 24, 25, 26, 27. Some of you say 28. And I'm... and these white hairs are here to betray this. Like, what? Hello? But I'm telling you, this is what stress will do to you. But white hair in my culture means that you're going to be wealthy. This girl is about to turn the negative in her bank account to a positive. Hello? Hello? And I hope all of you guys are keeping well and you're doing good and you are okay. I spent that week also prepping and planning, so I have a lot of interesting content in store for you guys, so please stay tuned. Now, in today's episode of My Take, I'm going to be sharing something that's very personal to me, something that means a lot to me, and that is my celibacy journey, my unbroken promise to God. I'm going to share with you the choices that I made that led me to this decision, the experiences that led me down this road, and what this whole entire experience has been like. One thing I can say to sum everything up is, if I had known then what I know now, I would have made this decision a long time ago. I would have waited until marriage before having sex. Yes, I have said it. If I knew then what I know now, I would have waited. I would have waited. And you know, when I was younger, because just like many of us out there, when I was younger, I had this plan, I had this dream, I had this idea of the kind of life that I wanted for myself. I knew I wanted to be rich. I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to meet the man of my dreams. I knew I wanted to have babies. I knew the kind of house that I wanted to live in. I knew the cars that I wanted to drive. Yo, I had dreams. I had dreams, big dreams, but I got lost. Somewhere along the way, your girl got lost. But guess what? She has been found. And you know what they say? Better late than never. Better late than never. A lot of my sexual experiences left me feeling dejected, rejected, angry, hurt, used, manipulated, abused, mistreated, emotional, just left me broken. A lot of my sexual experiences. Now we are going to go through some of my boyfriends, because a lot of my sexual experiences took part in a relationship setting. So I am going to go down this list and explain to you our walinifanyia nini. As in, your girl has been through it. So are we ready? Chapter 1. Let's call chapter 1 K. Okay? Let's call him K. Yo. So K is actually the guy who broke my virginity. Yani, the fact that I can even look back right now at everything that I went through in my 20s and even in my 30s and just laugh. Laugh. I mean, not laugh. Laugh. Is a testament to what healing can do. Like, honestly, it is so important to heal from your traumas. It is so important. So anyway, chapter 1, K, that is what we'll call him. He broke my virginity in Malaysia. Some of you may know or not know, I went to Malaysia to pursue a degree in mass communication, and this is where I met. We had actually met each other here in Nairobi. He's someone that I knew, but I wasn't expecting him in Malaysia, which was quite a surprise. But lo and behold, there he was. And we ended up having a thing. And in Malaysia, like now, how we'd stay is they had these houses, and each house had like 4 bedrooms. So you have your room, somebody else is occupying that room, that room, that room. There were some rooms that were master bedrooms. They had their own bathrooms and toilets. Then for somebody who got a single room, you had a shared bathroom and toilet. So I was in a single room. There were 2 other chicks in master bedrooms, and those 2 single rooms, 2 master bedrooms. It was a 4-bedroom house. So that house was full of Kenyans, and there was only one Tanzanian girl. And with this Tanzanian girl, we actually also knew each other from here in Nairobi, as it's such a small world. So me, Kay, and this Tanzanian girl, we knew each other. So I came to Malaysia first, not expecting that they were going to come to. I had no idea. So I was so surprised a few weeks later, like I was walking to the bus to go to class, and I just hear, Angeline. So I turn and I see Kay, and I see this girl also. I was like, oh my gosh, people I know. I was really, really excited. Long story short, me and Kay ended up dating. He was cute and everything, but nothing like what I had envisioned for myself, Like, yeah, he wasn't. So we ended up dating and stuff like that, and he ended up breaking my virginity. Eventually, okay, so he would come to my room, and like the things boyfriends and girlfriends do. You cuddle, you watch a movie, you talk, you have dinner, you have sex, and all those things that boyfriends and girlfriends do. I don't need to go into detail. And then he would go to this girl's room, now the Tanzanian girl, because they had shared classes. So he told me they're doing a project together. Never once did it cross my mind that these two could be hooking up. Never. It never crossed my mind. So we dated with this K guy, and eventually I had rumors that he was cheating, and I found out that he was cheating, and not with just one girl, multiple girls. So whose shoulder do you think I used to cry on? The Tanzanian girl. I used to cry on her shoulders, and I used to tell her, oh my gosh, he's cheating on me, Nini. I used to cry. Until one time she felt so bad for me, and she was like, I can't hold this in any longer, but me and this guy have been blah 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 blah. I was like, what? Then she was like, yeah, she even started crying. In my mind, I'm like, what the hell are you crying for? Like, you're here telling me you've been hooking up with my boyfriend. I'm like, I'm the one who's supposed to be crying, not you, I felt so hurt, and I felt so disrespected. I felt so used. I just felt so, And when I touched briefly on the sexual experience, it was nothing like what I'd imagined. As I told you, I had this vision, this plan for my life, and I had read so many romance novels as well. So I always imagined like breaking my virginity would be this amazing, beautiful thing full of magical feelings and stuff like that, where the man will hold you and tell you how much he loves you and ABCD. It was nothing like that. It was the complete opposite. I just felt like, what the hell? Did I wait 23 or 24 years for this? Really? For this? And then to find out he was cheating on me with multiple women, plus also a friend of mine, my next door, as in, should I call her a neighbor or housemate? I was like, what? I felt so bad. I felt so broken because I really, really cared about this guy. And how twisted I got was I was so in love with him, or at least I thought at that time that I was in love with him, that he would show up at my door at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., anytime, and I would still let him in. Booty call is what they call it. I would still let him in. because I felt like maybe if I give him my body, maybe if we have sex, he will love me more. Maybe he will want me more. But let me tell you something, ladies. There's nothing anti-sexual you can ever do to make a man love you more. Sex will never elicit loyalty or faithfulness from a man. He'll be like, my gosh, she's so good in bed. Let me just be faithful. Let me just be loyal. Let me just be honest. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. It does not. And for all the women who ask themselves, what is wrong with me? Is it me? Because I was cheated on multiple times. And this is just chapter 1. Chapter 2, chapter 4, chapter 5. I was cheated on multiple times. To the point where I kept asking myself, what is wrong with me? Am I the problem? Like, I was so hurt and so bitter and so angry and so frustrated. So to all the women who ask themselves that question, am I the problem? The answer is no, you are not the problem. They are. The choices you are making, the men that you are choosing, they are the problem, not you. Them, not you. So now after I found out he was cheating, I accosted him and I was like, yo, yeah, blah, 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 this, yeah, 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 yeah. And this guy goes and tells me, Atino, it only happened once and it's this chick who jumped on me and then blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, I believed him, or at least I wanted to. So I ended up icing out that chick. Like, I'm like, we're no longer friends. Don't talk to me. This friendship is done. Me and this man are back together. He loves me. And he continued making a fool of me with other girls until I woke up and came to the realization like, yo, girl, you can do way better. Way better. But did I do better? No, let's move on to chapter 2. Let's call him S. S. This guy was tall. He was good looking. He had swag. As in, the sexual chemistry was there. As in, I was just like, I have hit the jackpot. And then in my mind, I used to think so lowly of myself. I never used to think of myself as attractive or anything like that. So when a good looking guy would pay attention to me, I used to be like, whoa, girl, kumbe I'm that hot. Kumbe I'm sexy. Seeking validation from other people. Oh my gosh. Gone are those days. We are in 2023. Gone are those days. So S showed me a good time. When the courting before the dating and the sex, yes, he was a gentleman. He was funny. He was interesting. He was just a bad boy. And when we had, why am I blushing? But anyway, the sex was really good. Really, really good. It was bad boy sex. That is what I'm going to call it. Bad boy sex. Girl, get yourself together. But this guy was so toxic. He also cheated on me multiple times. Narcissist. And every time, like how women, we have instincts, right? So when you kind of sense when somebody's dogging you, someone is doing you dirty, you can just sense it. Even if you don't have the proof or the evidence, you can just sense it. And then one of his best friends actually just hinted to me and he told me, stay away from this guy. One of his best friends. And that to me was just the validation that I needed. But who am I? Did I listen? Nope, I didn't. So one time we had a date and he was late and he told me to meet him in his apartment, in his room. So that's where I went. I went there with my laptop because my plan was, let me watch a movie until he comes. So I went there with his laptop. I opened his room door and there on the bed was his camera, his much loved camera. So Later is when I come to realize this was all set up. So his camera was there on the bed. So I was just like, yo, so I settled in, put the laptop on the charger, nini, I'm going through my phone. Then I decided to start watching the movie. And then halfway across the movie, I was like, let me look at what pictures he's been taking. But I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't. This was a very innocent thing. Like, I just picked up the camera. I was like, yo, let me see the pictures. Because he would take pictures every time, like, we went places and stuff like that. So I was just like, let me just take a look at some of the pictures he's taken. So I perused. I went through. Guess what I saw on his camera? Just guess. If you've guessed it, you're smart. Pictures of a naked girl. And who is this girl? His best friend's girlfriend. Naked. His best friend's girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Yep. I'm telling you, Malaysia was wild. Yani zile vitu niliona huko. The heartbreak. My heart. Hey, Malaysia. So I didn't call him. I didn't text him. I was very calm. I saw all the pictures and I was just like, okay. I put it off, continued watching my movie. But they be very afraid of those women who keep calm in certain situations. Be very afraid because usually they have something not so nice up their sleeve. So I waited for this guy patiently in his room until he showed up. And I just asked him, very calmly, I just asked him, so you and that's the first, so you and so have been hooking up? Then he's like, no. Why? Like, I've seen the naked pictures of her on your camera. He didn't dare deny. He didn't say anything. As in, nothing. I was met with silence. He literally removed his shoes, went to the bathroom. So when he was in the bathroom, I put the camera back on, took my phone, took pictures of that naked chick, and then I eventually ended up showing his best friend the pictures. If I'm not wrong, that's what I did. Yes, that's exactly what I did. I sent him the pictures and then I called him and I told him I found these pictures on S's phone, on S's camera. So him and your girlfriend have been hooking up. And he was just like, thanks for letting me know. It became a huge scandal and I don't regret doing what I did. Did I leave the relationship after that happened? No. I stayed. Again, with the same mentality. Maybe if I have more sex with him, he will love me more. Maybe if I do things the way he wants, he will love me and want me more. But that's not how it works. It's not. I actually feel that when a man cheats on you and blatantly disrespects you, and as a woman you stay, his treatment of you only gets worse. His treatment of you only gets worse, and it got worse for me. The sex got dirty. Like, I just felt like I was being used. It just got so to the point where I would feel so disgusted with myself. There was no cuddling after. There was no I love you after. There was no kindness. There was no romance. Nothing. It was just like I was his release. His place of release. That's what it felt like. I just felt used and I felt dirty. And it took a lot of me to end that relationship. He started making comments about my friends, like commenting on their bodies and stuff like that. You know, like I feel he was, there's this Kiswahili saying, anayekwambia Anayekwambia ondoka. How does that saying go? The person who wants you out won't tell you they want you out. I don't know. I can't remember how the saying goes in Kiswahili, but yeah. Anayekwambia ondoka hakuambi something. I think you guys know that saying. And I just ended it. And I remember I was in tears. I felt so bad. I felt so hurt. I felt so, all the negative feelings you can think of. That's what I felt. I cried for months from that relationship. And his life continued. He actually now ended up dating a nemesis of mine, a chick that I didn't used to like. And he ended up dating her. That's just chapter 2. Later is when I found out that camera, now from his other friend, whose name starts with B, he later told me that camera being left on the bed was a tactic. Like, this guy had wanted me to end the relationship. He had wanted me to see that. He did not expect that we would get back together after that situation. So remember, asiyekwambia ondoka haku. That saying, yes. Sometimes somebody may want you out and they're not telling you, but they're showing you. Wewe unakwama tu hapo. Chapter 2. All right, so chapter 3. We are going to call this chapter N. And there's nothing negative that I have to say about this guy. Actually, no. The negative aspect is on me. So chapter 1 and 2 were traumatic, completely traumatic, negative experiences for me. So when I met this guy, he was sweet, he was kind, he was caring, he was giving. Everything that I wanted from my chapter 1 and 2, I got in chapter 3. He showered me with compliments. He showered me with gifts and experiences. Like, he was just the it guy, romantic, everything that I'd always wanted in a guy. Chapter 3 was it. I had got it, but I had no feelings for this guy. None. And because of my traumatic experiences in 1 and 2, I became cold, really, really cold. And I ended up spilling all that negativity into this relationship. I mistreated this guy. I mistreated him. Yani, somebody's being so nice to you, so loving to you. You know, like how I'd wanted, to be cuddled and held, to be told I love you, to be treated a certain way. All these things he was doing, as in, he loved me so much, but I felt nothing. Every time he would touch me, I would even recoil, like I would be like, ew, why are you touching me? Every time I had sex with this guy, it was empty. I felt so empty. I felt so used. I felt so, what am I doing? What am I doing? But I felt it is something that I needed to do to get over everything that I had been through, everything that I had experienced. Instead of healing from my brokenness, I jumped into something that I wasn't ready and prepared for. And listen to me good. When you jump into a relationship without healing, you will ruin something good. Something that could have been for you, you will end up ruining because you are not ready or prepared for it. You are not. You've jumped into something too soon. So when someone kind and someone good presents themselves to you, you don't know what to do with it. You haven't healed. You're angry. You're bitter. You're mean. You will take it out on this person that has nothing to do with your pain. And it is very unfair. It is very unfair. Let me tell you, chapter 3 is one of my biggest regrets. And if I could turn back time, this is something I would have done very differently. I would not have gotten into a relationship with somebody that I knew I did not love. I did not care for the way he cared for me. I would not have. I ended up hurting somebody that didn't deserve it. We need to heal from our past traumas. Otherwise, we end up hurting other people that are completely innocent. That was my chapter 3. My chapter 3 was a lesson learned. Let's move on to chapter 4. Chapter 4 was character development, my people. We are going to call this chapter F. Okay, we're calling chapter 4 F. Yo. One of the most toxic relationships I have ever been in my life. I lost so much of myself in this relationship. I lost friends. I lost family. Many a times almost lost my career. This relationship was so toxic because this guy was going through his own things, right? And he was battling through his own demons, and he would drink a lot. I am telling you, a lot. You know, the kind from morning to evening kind of drinking? That was him. And because you want to hang out with this person, you find yourself doing the exact same thing. Like, I adapted so many toxic traits, it was insane. I almost lost out on a lot. I am telling you, to break off from this was one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. If I hadn't, I do not know where I would be right now. I kid you not, you guys. I'm not going to go deep into it, but it was hell. It was crazy. When I started questioning it, I was like, what value is this relationship adding to my life? There are times even when you say no to sex, someone gets angry at you and starts saying, oh, you don't love me, or you're cheating on me, or Mara this, or Mara this. I saw you talking to this guy. Why are you dressing like this? Why are you doing? It was just, I have never experienced anything like that in my life. It was bad. It was really, really bad. And that's all I'm going to say about chapter F. Last and final chapter, the last, I won't even call it a relationship. This was a situationship. That's what I'll call it. It was a situationship. I'll call it it's chapter 5, and I'll call it A. Also very toxic. And a lot of it revolved around sex. It was a mostly sexual relationship, and it just left me feeling broken. It left me feeling used. It just left me feeling so many negative emotions. And then everything that I'd experienced from chapter 1 to chapter 5, everything just came crashing down. Everything just came crashing down. And at the time that chapter 5 was ending was when my world came crashing down. The debt, the loan apps, I quit my job, everything just happened at once. So when I started praying to God, when I started creating a relationship with God, one of the things I told him is, I am tired of the ways my body has been used. I am tired of the ways I have felt. I am just tired, Lord, and I want to do things differently. I want to love my body again. I want to respect my body. I want to value my body, oh Lord. Because in the Bible, God refers to your body as his temple. His temple. Now, we all know places of worship are places to be respected, places that matter, places of importance. That is a church, that is a temple, that is a synagogue, wherever you worship God. That is a space that's to be respected. It is valued. It is important. It is of high significance. Now, God refers to your body as a temple. He's saying your body matters. It is important. It is of value. It is of high significance. Your body matters. It was at this point that I made a vow and I made a promise to God, and I told him, I will not have sex. Because I went back to the beginning when I told you guys I had dreams, I had goals. I knew the kind of man that I wanted to marry and the kind of life that I wanted to have for myself. I wrote down my list. I wrote a fresh list and I prayed about it to God, and I told him, Lord, I promise you, this time round, I am going to wait on your gift. I am not going to have sex. I am not going to fornicate, masturbation, nothing. Sijui, kissing, touching, they call it catching rubs. That's what we used to call it back in the day. You know, touching each other and stuff like that. Nothing. I have cut myself off from all of it. And I told God, I am going to wait until marriage. This is my promise and my solemn vow to you. I am going to wait. I have seen what not waiting has done to me. I suffered physically, I suffered mentally, and I suffered spiritually. And I told God, enough. I don't want this life anymore. I am giving my body up to you. Please, Lord, cleanse me. Wash me anew in preparation for my future husband, the man that you're going to send my way, oh Lord. I am waiting. I will wait. I have experienced immense pain, humiliation, shame, frustration. But I know with God, things are going to be different. I trust and believe in God's timing. And for me, this period, I feel, is just God preparing me. I need to heal. I need to work on myself. I need to prepare myself for that gift so that when it comes my way, I know what to do with it. This time I'll be ready. I will not abuse it. I will not mistreat it. I will love it. I will nurture it. I will protect that gift. I'm calling this period the wait. It's beautiful. It's empowering. It is worth it. So one question that I'm usually asked, especially when I'm talking about my celibacy journey, is what are the benefits? Like, what are you getting from it? First of all, spiritual connection with God. The thing I've realized about toxic relationships is they take so much of your time. And anyone who has been in a toxic relationship can attest to this. A toxic relationship will take so much of your time. There are some people till today that are stuck in toxic cycles because they lack the ability, the strength, and the power within themselves to set themselves free. That is what toxic relationships do to you. They take up so much of your space and your time. You can't focus on anything else. You can't focus on personal growth. You can't focus on your relationship with God. You can't focus on your career. You can't focus on your life. Your main focus is that person. So number one is my spiritual growth. I can focus on God. God is my main, he's my number one man. He's my guy. He's my everything. God. I come home ni Mungu. I wake up in the morning ni Mungu. Nakula ni Mungu. Before I shoot my content ni Mungu. Before I leave my house to go somewhere ni Mungu. God is my focal point. My spiritual interactions with God, my relationship with God is growing stronger. Because I can focus on that now. I can build on that. I can work on that. That's one. Number two, soul ties. Soul ties is an emotional and spiritual connection between two people. And God goes on to say, not all soul ties are positive. Some cause us to become attached to unhealthy or destructive relationships. The people you sleep with. You form spiritual connections with them, emotional attachments to them. So if somebody is bad for you, imagine somebody is toxic, somebody is bad for you. But because you're constantly sleeping with this person, you create a soul tie, an unhealthy and destructive soul tie that is very hard to break. It took me 3 years. The worst thing you can do to yourself is connect yourself to something unhealthy and to something destructive. Setting yourself free, getting out isn't easy. It's not easy. The other benefit that I have experienced from this is I am no longer worried about STIs or unwanted pregnancies, which is something that I was constantly worrying about when I was in relationships. You're not using protection, you're being irregular with your birth control. Because I don't know if it was just me, but you become, what's this word? You become less careful. Let me put it that way. You become less careful. Reckless is the word I use. You become reckless. As in, chapter 1 and 2, I was cheated on multiple times. Who knows whether these people were protecting themselves or not? Do you know the number of times like I would go to a clinic just to get tested after you hear something? You find out something. This person has been sleeping with so and so. It was nerve-wracking. It was stressful. I am telling you, it was stressful. It was stressful. So I no longer have to worry or bother about that. Like I could have HIV, or I could have hepatitis or herpes or chlamydia or gonorrhea or syphilis or any of those things. I am no longer worried, as in, because I'm free from that. I'm abstaining, I'm celibate. Also, unwanted pregnancies, like I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, what I worry about are things that benefit me. What am I going to eat? What am I shooting tomorrow? You know, how can I monetize this? Everything is about me now, bettering myself, loving myself, appreciating myself, valuing myself. Being celibate has given me the opportunity to heal, as I mentioned. I mentioned in my chapter 3, I was so mean to this guy, and so mean and nasty because I hadn't healed from my past experiences. I was mean and nasty to this guy. He was nothing but good, nothing but kind, nothing but nice to me, but I mistreated him because I was angry, because I was bitter over my past experiences. I didn't heal. Now, being celibate has enabled me to go back in time, look at everything, examine everything that made me feel bad about myself, made me feel negative, made me feel shame, made me feel humiliation, made me feel rejected, made me feel disrespected. I was able to examine all those things, and not just my relationships, not just that, other things. Because as I said, you're now able to focus on things that are more important. So you're able to evaluate your life in general, all the choices you've made. And now you're able to write down and agree on working on the things that will better you. Healing is important. Healing from your past trauma and experiences is important. Sometimes you need a break. Meet these people who today you're dating this person. You break up, 3 days later, you're in a new relationship. You break up a month later, you're in a new relationship. I'm like, yo, how? Am I the only one? Hey, hello? Am I the only one who feels like this? Like, how are some people able to move on so fast? Like, what are you doing? And that's why you'll find those relationships never last. 2-3 weeks or a month, done. Next. When do you heal? When do you take time to yourself and say, pause? What went wrong in my past relationship? Okay, What do I need to work on as an individual? So that my next relationship can be better. When do you take time for yourself to heal? Focus on yourself, build yourself, grow yourself. Healing is important. Finally, I can say my mental and physical well-being is so much better. Mentally, I am not stressed because relationships come with their own stress. Why is this person treating me like this after we've had sex? Oh, why isn't he calling me? Oh, why isn't this guy texting me? Oh, this guy didn't text me today to ask me whether I've eaten. Oh, I haven't spoken to this guy this whole weekend. Oh, is this guy cheating? Relationships are stressful, especially when you're with the wrong person. The stress levels, the mental anxiety, I don't miss that. I don't miss that. Then physically, I've already touched on that. I'm not worried about STIs anymore because I'm not putting myself at risk or allowing anybody else to. I'm not worried about unwanted pregnancies anymore. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. So physically, I feel stronger. Mentally, I feel stronger as well. My stress levels are lower. So celibacy is a gift. It's a gift unto yourself. So many of us are getting ourselves involved with the wrong people, getting into relationships that don't serve you, don't grow you, don't appreciate you, don't value you. And we have seen and we have witnessed what being in the wrong relationship can do to you. Trust in God's timing. I trust in God's timing completely. Let me tell you guys, I've even dreamt, and I don't know whether these dreams are visions, but I have dreamt. And I remember one time that dream was so specific as to how I'm going to meet this guy. And I remember telling my friend about it, and she laughed. She was like, "You've watched too many romantic movies." I was like, this dream is too particular for it to not be true. So I just feel, and ever since I wrote that letter to God with my list and everything that I want in that man, in my future husband, the father of my babies, every time, the minute I wrote that list, prayed on it, I am not stressed about it. If you're over 30, if you've clocked even 30, to all the women who are watching this, you're 30 and above. I know you know this. You go for family gatherings, unaulizwa, watoto tunapata lini? Bwana unamleta lini? Oh, your clock is ticking. Yo. There's all this pressure. Even your friends telling you, your biological clock, as in a lot of nonsense. And every time somebody tells me that, I remind them of Sarah, Abraham's wife, who got pregnant at 92. God's timing is perfect. God's timing is everything. He knows when, He knows how, He knows where, He knows how, He knows the who. Leave it up to Him. There's nobody who can plan your life better than God. I'm telling you this from my heart. Ever since I wrote that list and I prayed about it, I'm at such peace because I know it is handled. Yani, I don't stress. That part of my life, I know that gift is coming and I can't wait to receive it. Because I know by the time God is done with me, I will be ready. I will be ready for that man. I will be ready for that relationship. I will be ready for that marriage. I'll be ready for those kids. So as I practice celibacy, as I keep my unbroken promise to God, as I wait, I will work on myself. Because I also know on the other end, God is preparing him too. So by the time we meet, oh my gosh! Fireworks! Pew, 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 pew. So one thing I can say, celibacy, worth it. The wait is everything. Everything. God's timing, perfect. Now I'm going to end this kama kawaida with scripture. You know, it is not my take unless I'm quoting something from my beautiful Bible. So let's do this. All right, so I am going to read from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18 to 20. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18 to 20. Flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. I feel like at this point, I just need to close this Bible and drop mic. It just sums up everything that I've said. Like, God considers the sins against our own body so powerful and such a betrayal to Him. Like, the Bible says all the other sins that a person commits outside the body are nothing compared to the sins that we commit to and with our own bodies. Our bodies do not belong to us. They belong to the Most High. And remember, He's telling us, you are bought at a price. And the price was the death of His Son, Jesus Christ, the one who died for our sins. Remember Him? Honor God with your bodies. We need to have self-control over our emotions. We need to be in charge and control of our own bodies. Not at you're feeling this way and then you have to act on it. No, self-control is very, very important in every aspect of our lives. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Until next time, bye guys. Before I forget, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so that you can get notified anytime I drop a video. Bye.